I will try my absolute best, but legit, I will quit. Yo, what? Okay. Hello, it's been a while. I'm here in Spain, and since my channel is mostly about trucking, I do want to talk about the differences that I've noticed while being here when it comes to the trucks, physically and uh, like rule wise. I guess. Anyway, I'm gonna get into it. So the first thing that I noticed once being here is that all of the trucks, they're all flat. They're just, if anybody's from Jersey, they look like the New Jersey Transit buses, where it's you, the steering wheel, some dashboard, and then it's glass. It's just glass all up in here. And that is so dangerous. Once if you have a collision with one of those trucks, you're gone. You are dead. You are just destroyed. And that's just, and it's not because they don't care about these people's safety, but it's because there is a restriction when it comes to the length, the overall length that the tractor and trailer could be together. So the limitation restriction that they have is that it can't be more than 54 feet long. In the United States, we don't have that. Some people have a full apartment back there in their tractor. And we're hauling doubles and triples, and it's a lot. So that's one physical difference. And it's the same for every single one. It's the same for flatbeds, for reefers, for dry vans, for dump trucks. It's the same. The other difference that I noticed is that the trailers have, in the United States, the trailers, it's 2 axles. So it's one axle here, and then you either have two tires that are together, 2 wheels, here in the back and in the front. So that's 4 tires on one side, and then same on the other side, 4 tires, total of 8 tires. Or you could have those fat tires, one, and one. So that's 4. Either you could have 4 or you could have 8. Over here, it's 3 axles with a single tire. So it's just 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. I did end up going inside one of the trucks. As you can tell, these steps are very tiny. Only 2 flip-flops could fit on there. And this Romanian guy, he was cool with me filming. I had to use Google Translate to ask him. But look at the inside. They also have the computers that we have. So it's not like they're back in time. They're not using paper. And look at the cab. Like, look at the bed. It's so tiny. Something else that I noticed is that their catwalk is very small. Look at the space between the trailer and the tractor. That's the physical difference. Now, it's, the rules are insane compared to the rules in the United States. Let me try. I even had to open up my laptop so I could look at all the rules. I will try my absolute best, but legit, I will quit if I can't make this video, if I can't make this section shorter than 5 minutes. I will give up. Now, the United States, you can do a max of 60 to 70 hours per week. After the 60 to 70 hours, after 70 hours max, you have to absolutely take a 34-hour rest period, and then your clock starts all over again. All right. in Spain, in Europe, the way they do it is 48 hours a week. It's 48 hours a week, and then you have to take a 45-hour rest period. But the employer can have the driver take those 45-hour rest periods for the first week, but for the second week they can cut it down to 24 hours. So it would be 48 hours working, 45 hours resting, 48 hours working, and then 24 hours resting. And then for the other 2 weeks, there has to be like a compensation for the time that was taken away from the second week's break. I'm gonna stop there because it's getting complicated. Another thing is that so United States, just 60 to 70 hours max time of work, and then you take a 34-hour break period. Here, if the employer wants the driver to work 60 hours in 1 week, after that 1 week, that driver must only work 48 hours per week for the next 4 months. All right, let's move on. For the daily driving time, in the United States, it's a max amount of driving, 11 hours. Here, it used to be like that, but they dropped it down to only 9 hours of driving time, max. And there's an exception. You could add 1 hour of driving time, maximum twice a week. That's the daily. It's just so much. All right. The breaks. The break period in the United States after 8 hours, whether it's been full driving 8 hours or it's been cut down, like 2 hours driving, 2 hours unloading, loading, 2 hours driving, and whatever. Once you hit 8 hours that you have been on duty, driving included, you have to take a 30-minute break. So here, the driver cannot work more than 6 hours without taking a break. It says here, if your employees work between 6 and 9 hours, they are entitled to a break of at least 30 minutes. If they work more than 9 hours, not including the driving, so that's like on duty, they are entitled to a break of at least 45 minutes. But if the driver has been only driving for 4.5 hours, they must take a 45-minute break uninterrupted. Unless they take a rest period. It says here, unless they take a rest period. Alternatively, this break can be split into 2 parts. So I'm assuming that if the driver is driving for 2 hours, they can take a 15-minute break, and then after another 2.5 hours, they would have to take the rest of that 45. So it would have to be a 30-minute break. Okay, we did the break. Now, in the United States, it doesn't matter what time you start. If you start at 1 a.m., 3 a.m., 7 a.m., 6 p.m., it doesn't matter. Your limit is 11 hours driving, 14 hours on duty. In Europe, they have a different rule for the people that work from 12 a.m. to 7 a.m. If those drivers are working 4 hours within that window, they can only work 10 hours every 24-hour work period. Please let me know if you're still with me. This is insane. There's too many rules. Daily rest period. You must guarantee your employees a regular daily rest period of at least 11 consecutive hours. So in the United States, you must have 10 hours of rest after your shift. Here, it's 11 hours after your shift. It can get reduced to 9 hours for a maximum of 3 times between any 2 weekly rest periods. The driver can split a regular daily rest period into 2 parts. The first part must be of at least 3 hours, the second part of at least 9 hours, so that the sum of the 2 parts are at least 12 hours. Yo, what? Okay. And then they have special rules for drivers who carry goods, special rules for drivers who carry passengers, and then the return of the driver, whatever. It's just so much that I can't. I'm overwhelmed. And if you made it to the end of the video, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye.